In the headlines tonight, Ethiopia plants 25 billion seedlings in 4 years' time, surpassing plan. British government says it is working to deepen the age-long bilateral ties with Ethiopia. A very warm welcome to ETV News. I am Grum Tariku. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed in a statement said that the Green Legacy Initiative has delivered results, particularly in fostering green culture. He highlighted it takes commitment and proactive engagement at all levels of society. Perhaps this is one of the defining moments where Ethiopia has been successful in mobilizing at all levels. Every corner of our great nation took up the national call to plant 20 billion seedlings in a 4-year period. Fortunately, Ethiopia has planted 25 billion seedlings in 4 years, surpassing the ceiling. More than 25 million Ethiopians across the country rolled up their sleeves and have shown up to prepare seedlings, dig pits, plant and then nurture them to survival and growth. Going to the much-anticipated Kenyan election, Kenya's Election Commission chairman has declared Deputy President William Ruto winner of the close presidential election over 5-time contender Raila Odinga. Ethiopian Prime Minister has expressed his message of felicitation to the winner, hoping that the transition will be smooth and constructive to the Horn region. However, chaos emerged just before the declaration when the Electoral Commission's vice chair and 3 other commissioners told journalists they could not support the opaque nature of the final phase. The sudden split in the commission came minutes after Odinga's chief agent said they could not verify the results and made allegations of electoral offenses without giving details or evidence. Odinga didn't come to the venue for the declaration. Now Kenyans wait to see whether Odinga will again go to court to contest the results. Coming back to local news, the British government says it is working tirelessly to deepen the age-long bilateral ties with Ethiopia in various ways of cooperation. In an exclusive interview with EBC English, Britain ambassador to Ethiopia, Alistair MacPhail, said his country has donated worth $100 million to Ethiopia's IDP, besides taking part in the Green Legacy Initiative. Kasaunchane reports.
Over the centuries, Ethiopia has enjoyed close economic, diplomatic and cultural relations with the United Kingdom. Both countries collaborate on many issues of mutual concern at the regional and global levels. Talking to EBC English, British ambassador to Ethiopia appreciates the Green Legacy initiatives of Ethiopia and commends the scheme ought to be strengthened to address land degradation and similar problems.
And of course, last year, we had COP26 in my hometown of Glasgow, so we are very keen on the green agenda. Back in 2019, together with members of the government and some other ambassadors, I went to the first tree planting ceremony and exercise just on the outskirts of Addis Ababa and took part in planting many trees. As you can see, we have many trees here in the British Embassy compound. However, we take very seriously our responsibility to manage this green space in the most sustainable way. So when we have to lose a tree, whether it's because of disease or anything else, we replace them. And in that first year of the Green Legacy, 2019, we planted more than 50 trees in this compound. And since then, we have continued to plant trees. Most recently, 2 months ago, on the occasion of our Queen's Platinum Jubilee. We have also supported the planting of 95 million trees in Ethiopia through the safety net program.
According to the ambassador, historically, Ethiopia and the United Kingdom have enjoyed rich diplomatic relations covering a range of areas including trade, culture, education and development cooperation. The ambassador also stated the British government has donated $100 million to help the internally displaced people in the northern part of the country.
We've been helping in any way we can. So we have provided almost $100 million of funding for the internally displaced people in Afar, Amhara and Tigray. And this goes towards the vulnerable people. It goes towards water and sanitation and to shelter and to education and support to victims of sexual violence.
He mentioned the role that British forces played in Ethiopia's fight against fascism during the Second World War. Thus, bolstering the age-long ties of Ethiopia and the UK is critical, both in difficult and good times to address common agenda.
Bilateral ties between the UK and Ethiopia have always been very strong. We have fought on your side in battles against Italy, and we have stood side by side with you on your development journey. We've had this compound for more than a century. In fact, my house was built almost 120 years ago. I can trace my predecessors in this very job for more than 1.25 centuries. In all that time, we, the UK, have been happy to stand together with our Ethiopian friends and partners through difficult times as well as good times. We have had our largest development program in the world here in Ethiopia, and it remains the largest regular development program in the world for the UK. We have worked very closely with government, but also outside government, to help with development, whether it is water and sanitation, women and girls, health, education, you name it, we have tried to help. So I would characterize our friendship and our partnership as long-standing and strong.
The British government is keen to help Ethiopia address water and sanitation problems, women and children issues, health and education sector development, among others.
Chief of Staff of the Ethiopian Armed Forces says efforts are underway to build a reliable military force with complete logistics during the 2020 to 2023 fiscal year. The remark came when the Department of Defense Logistics reviewed its annual performance in the presence of logistics leaders from all branches. Field Marshal Birhanu Jula pointed out that although Ethiopia's enemies have formed alliance, integrated logistics in the army has helped to fend off any attack combined with formidable bravery. Jula said Ethiopia is eyeing to equip its army with state-of-the-art military technologies during the fiscal year. He stated that logistics is the bulwark of the army, adding Ethiopia has been performing better in this regard as of late. Higher-level delegation of South Sudanese security and civil officials who are on a 3-day working visit to Ethiopia visited the Great Ethiopian Renaissance Dam project site. National Security Advisor to the President of South Sudan, Kong Tip Gotlak, told the Ethiopian news agency that Great Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is a development project also for the riparian countries. The President's senior security advisor during the visit confirmed that the Renaissance Dam is a project that further binds neighboring countries. He stated that issues arising around the Great Ethiopian Renaissance Dam should be resolved through negotiation. The Great Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is a project that requires the sacrifices of Ethiopians, but it also benefits the countries in the basin. The Sarbit Gofa Mazoria Pushkin Gotara Interchange Road project is inaugurated today with the attendance of the Mayor of Addis Ababa City, senior government officials, and invited guests. Speaking on the occasion, Addis Ababa, Mayor of the Addis Ababa City Administration, said the Sarbit Gofa Mazoria Pushkin Gotara Interchange Road project is the first modern and state-of-the-art road project in the capital. Shagai Mata has the following account.
The Sarbit Gofa Mazoria Pushkin Gotara Interchange Road project has a length of 3.8 kilometers and width of 30 to 45 meters with a capacity of accommodating a large number of vehicles, including bus rapid transit services at a time. The road has 320-meter long underground cave system. The completion of the road project is part of the city's endeavor to tackle transport challenges in Addis Ababa. Speaking on the event, Addis Ababa City Mayor said the completion of the road project is the first modern and qualified road project in the capital.
The Sarbit Gofa Mazoria Pushkin Gotara Interchange Road project is the most modernized and qualified project than all other road projects we have so far in the city. This project is completed as per the allocated budget and time. This indicates the city's capacity of completing big projects amid various challenges. This is one of the projects to realize the beauty of the city as its name.
Chargé d'affaires at the Chinese embassy in Addis Ababa, Shin Kingman, for his part, stated that the completion of this road project is a testimony of friendship and cooperation between Ethiopia and China.
This road before all of our eyes is a symbol of cooperation and friendship between China and Ethiopia. The two countries have adopted development strategies that are highly compatible, like the Green Legacy Initiative and a homegrown economic reform agenda of this country. And we two sides also have engaged in fruitful cooperation that sets the pace not only for our bilateral cooperation.
The city administration further announced that it is building 282-kilometer asphalt roads with the expense of over 28 billion birr to lessen transport challenges across the city.
The National Electoral Board of Ethiopia discussed with stakeholders on ways of upholding upcoming local elections. The discussion is underway in participation of political parties and more than 160 stakeholders. NEBE Chairperson Burtukan Midaksa highlighted the significance of the local elections for the democracy building process. According to the chairperson, the discussion is aimed to identify problems and garner inputs for potential revision of legal documents ahead of the polls. Local elections would enable citizens to elect representatives for Kabale, Warada and zonal assemblies, the chairperson added.
Pan-Africanism and African solidarity are the unifying statues on the grounds of Ubuntu, promoting shared vision on the basis of shared values. Commencing with new content and new approach by the coming Ethiopian New Year, memorable memories of Ethiopia's role in the global arena, and Ethiopia's contribution for the green legacy.
The government of Japan has signed a grant agreement for $86,584 to assist the expansion of Jijiga Medical Workers Vocation Training Center in Somali Regional State. Japanese Ambassador to Ethiopia Ito Takako and Dr. Abdullahi Abdi Muhammad, Executive Director of Human Concern Organization, a local non-governmental organization working in Somali region, signed the agreement. The assistance aimed to accommodate the demand for higher number of health professionals in Jijiga Health Science College, who are important in towns with increasing number of population. The implementation of the project is expected to result in the higher level of awareness and healthy practice of local communities in Somali region, according to Ethiopian News Agency. Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, said it is ready to provide technical assistance to African countries to realize quality education in Africa. JICA and AUC have launched a lecture series Zoom discussion today. Habtamu Ashagre has compiled the following report.
The first is the democratization under the occupation policy.
This is a Zoom lecture discussion that has organized by JICA and African Union Commission. The objective of the discussion is to give good practice of Japan in the education sector. Speaking on the occasion, senior researcher, advisor of JICA, Nobuko Kayashima, said JICA is committed to work with African states in priority areas.
JICA's educational cooperation includes 4 priority programs. These are areas selected based on the current development needs of developing countries and Japan's own educational history and strengths in educational development.
According to Naboku, African countries need to maximize their effort to adopt education curriculum that recognize their homegrown knowledge. Yumuko Yokozike, who is the director of UNESCO for her part, stressed African countries need to improve the quality of teaching materials at every education level.
The development of textbooks and the learning materials. Number 2, program for educational improvement through community-wide collaboration. And number 3, program for improving and expanding education for the vulnerable groups. And number 4, program for strengthening leading universities. These are an excellent match for the current needs in the African continent.
That means using OGT.
Representative of Ethiopia, the national trainer at Ministry of Education, Tenesh Mekonnen, for her part, said Ethiopia is always ready to take good lessons from Japan in education sector.
Japanese experts work together, that is, in close cooperation with Ethiopian experts. And that means they work as a team throughout the entire project process. That means they will not leave us while we are doing on the project. That is, they plan with us, they do with us, they will see the improvement, and the main actors here are we Ethiopians. What Japanese experts do is they support us whenever we want any kind of support. The second unique thing that I have observed in Japanese education support is ensuring sustainability. That is, using existing structures. That means they will not form additional ad hoc committees. Instead, for example, we are working in mathematics and science center, improvement center, and they use the same center and they use offices around there, and therefore they will not form ad hoc committees or more ad hoc committees.
The Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, jointly working with African countries in various thematic areas to improve the lives of Africans, it was learned.
The U.S. education mission.
Ethiopia is implementing a green legacy initiative over the past 3 years. The nation target is to plant over 20 billion young trees across the country. This project invites neighboring countries like Eritrea, Somalia, Sudan, South Sudan, and Kenya.
Ethiopia's microeconomy remains hopeful despite many challenges. ETV English will look into this in greater details through fresh stories and news analysis. Coming to you this August.
In August, top stories on Addis News Hour. After the conflict in the northern parts of Ethiopia, the PLF is preparing another wage of war against Ethiopia. ETV Language is discussing these matters with professionals, experts, politicians, even government officials. We brought this information on Addis News Hour. Stay tuned to ETV Languages.
Assistant Foreign Affairs Minister of China, Hao Chenying, said China will deepen its cooperation with developing countries for mutual prosperity. The Assistant Foreign Affairs Minister made the remark at the opening ceremony of China International Press Communications Center CIPCC 2022 program. The event was held in Beijing under the auspices of the China Public Diplomacy Association. During the occasion, Hao Chenying said that China has all along been a member of the big developing countries family and standing with each other through thick and thin. Finally, waste pickers at Kenya's Dandora dump site are going through some severe health issues like cancer and infertility. On a daily basis, nearly about 10,000 women and children work through the garbage each day. Jerusalem has more from WOIN, India's first global news network.
Poison smoke is coming from the mountain of waste at the Dandora rubbish dump in Nairobi. Waste pickers sift through the waste mostly with their bare hands. They are looking for recyclable materials, plastic, glass, even medical waste are the source of livelihood for many. But cuts from glass and inhaling noxious fumes from the dump are the least concerns for these cavities. They feel they have no other option to earn a living. A kilo of recyclable plastic waste is worth 14 cents at the dump site. The Dandora dump site is an informal workplace to about 10,000 women, children and men.
Natafuta hizi chupa zinaitwa kwinja, matingili box, magunia, mfupa, hizo chakula za nguruwe. Sasa unajua tunatafutanga bila gloves, gumboot hatuna, tunakata na chupa, alafu naona kama tunateseka.
The United Nations Environment Programme had warned that the dump site posed a serious health threat to those working and living nearby, and despite a court ordering the closure of the Dandora dump site in July 2021. The site continues to operate. Reports have shown that chemicals in common plastics severely impact human health. They affect the development of male and female reproductive parts and increase the chance of infertility. Skin disorders, cancers, respiratory problems, and blood disorders are other public health effects that can be brought about by the pollution emanating from the site.
Mi kwa menstruals zangu, mi wana like after 3 months ndio na received. Na saizo situmii kitu yoyote. Niko normal situmii kitu yoyote. Lakini kuna time nilikuwa nimegongo kichwa nikaenda kukaa home like 3 months. Hiyo kwa hiyo mwezi niliona vizuri sana date the same in those 3 months.
Saa zingine uko na ball imetoka hujajua sababu. Ukijaribu kuchange environment kidogo inakuwa successful, lakini penye umeenda kuchange environment hakuna do na watoto wako wako njaa, inabidi tu urudi huko.
The World Health Organization says that exposure to mercury above the level of 2 parts per million is determinantal. But the samples collected from the waste dump exceed this limit, exhibiting mercury levels of 46.7 parts per million. In a bid to improve waste management, Kenya's 2021 Sustainable Waste Management Bill outlined objectives for county government. The bill supports establishing waste management infrastructure to promote source segregation, reuse and recycling. In March, the United Nations Environment Assembly decided to initiate negotiations for a global agreement to end plastic pollution at its meeting in Nairobi. This is a glimmer of hope for the future, but for now, the informal waste pickers continue to work at the Dandora dump site to feed their families.
Over now to a quick reminder of the headlines. Ethiopia plants 25 billion seedlings in 4 years' time, surpassing plan. British government says it is working to deepen the age-long bilateral ties with Ethiopia. Well, you have been watching ETV News. Thanks for your company and have a great time.